there are the agents of the player to sign the contract of Conor Gallagher. Welcome back on the channel. Thanks a lot as always, guys, for being here. Thanks a lot for being on my playback. Remember that here we can do many things on playback in the next weeks, guys. So in terms of live shows, you can build your own network. You can create your own network here on playback. So you have this big possibility. Guys, today we have many things to discuss. Many things to discuss. So let's take some time together. I see many of your questions. I will touch on everything. So don't worry. I will try to do my best in the next half an hour to explain to you what's going on. First of all, let me say, here we go for Pedro Neto to Chelsea. The deal is done. Congratulations to my colleague and friend Fabrizio Romano from RMC Sport, who was the first one to mention the story. I wanted to tell you something on this one, but I had to be careful in the last 24 hours because, there were some things to resolve between the two clubs, and also all parties wanted to be quiet, especially the agent, Jorge Mendes, who made a difference in this deal because Jorge Mendes started to work behind the scenes for Pedro Neto to move in a quick way, in a kind of secret way, and Chelsea have been able to agree on a deal with Wolverhampton. The deal is done for 60 million euros plus 3 in add-ons. The price tag was 60 million pounds, so we are almost there. Wolves are happy with the proposal. Wolves gave the green light to Pedro Neto, who is traveling today to London. So today is the day for Pedro Neto to arrive in London, and tomorrow he will undergo medical test and then sign his contract at Chelsea. So Pedro Neto can be considered a new Chelsea player. I saw many questions on Pedro Neto in the recent months, but I can guarantee that Arsenal, for example, were never really in for Pedro Neto this summer. So Arsenal always had an interest in Pedro Neto, but they never made any concrete proposal this summer. They had some talk years ago, but this summer they were looking at different options. Tottenham had a genuine interest in Pedro Neto, so he was one of the players in the list of Tottenham, but they were not going to pay that money. 60 million euros plus 3 in add-ons. Tottenham had different kind of strategy on Pedro Neto, and so what we can say is that now Pedro Neto is joining Chelsea on Tottenham. Then I go back on Chelsea because I have something else to say, and I see many Liverpool fans too, so I will touch also something about Liverpool and more. But on Chelsea, I also wanted to tell you on Solanke, I wanted to mention for Tottenham, because we say that Tottenham were considering a move for Pedro Neto, but they never reached that number, 60 plus 3. So Chelsea decided to go really big on this one, also because they know that Pedro Neto can cover both wings, so can be a really interesting option. But Tottenham will invest similar fee for Dominic Solanke, because exclusive story from last week, that in the last 2-3 days I saw some denials on social media, people saying that there were no contacts, people saying that there were no negotiations. Someone today said that talks started yesterday night between Tottenham and Bournemouth. No, guys, Tottenham and Bournemouth are talking and negotiating, and have been talking and negotiating for days. So Solanke is the top target for Tottenham as new striker. The negotiation is ongoing, is underway. Today is an important day for the Dominic Solanke deal, because there are contacts, there are talks. So Tottenham are working on this deal, respecting the position of Bournemouth, because Bournemouth started asking the release clause, 65 million pounds, then started opening to the possibility to accept even a different kind of fee. So the discussion is now ongoing between Tottenham and Bournemouth, but Tottenham are very confident to get the deal down for Dominic Solanke. They have an agreement with the player on the contract. Solanke wants to go to Tottenham. Solanke believes that this is an incredible opportunity for him, and so looks like matter of time, and then Dominic Solanke is expected to become a new Tottenham player. Let's wait for these final steps. I will keep you posted. As I told you, it all started last week. Again, it was an exclusive story. Many people started denying, started mentioning other names for the striker. No, Tottenham full focus has always been, at least in the last 7-10 days, on Dominic Solanke. Now, everything is progressing very well. It's not something that started yesterday night, guys. It's days and weeks talking, now entering into crucial stages of this story, with Dominic Solanke getting closer to Tottenham. On Chelsea, I wanted to say something else, guys, because now Pedro Neto is joining, Samuel Morodion also. Conor Gallagher is signing his contract today, this afternoon. So while I'm here live on playback, in the offices of Atletico Madrid, there is Conor Gallagher, and there are the agents of the play. There is, sorry, let me read here. Okay. No, there are the agents of the player to sign the contract of Conor Gallagher. So that deal is done. Samu Amorodion will sign his contract, 7-year deal at Chelsea. So Chelsea sign Amorodion, Chelsea sign Pedro Neto, but what I'm hearing is that Chelsea have still possibility also to go for more offensive players, at least one more offensive player. It's a possibility. So let's keep the market open for Chelsea. It's not over yet. I know they signed Omorodion, I know they signed Pedro Neto, and so many people think that maybe it's over. It's not over yet in terms of Chelsea considering opportunities. What does it mean? It means that in case they find a good name up front, they can still do business in the offensive positions. So Chelsea are still showing interest in offensive players. Obviously, if one more joins, for example, for Chelsea, I see your questions, guys. For Chelsea, it could be the case to loan out Marc Guiu, who joined from Barcelona, 7 million euros release clause, did very well in pre-season, but obviously, if Chelsea then sign one more, in that case, he could leave the club on loan. When I mention one more, I see your questions on Victor Osimhen. Guys, in the recent weeks, we had many different reports on Victor Osimhen. Someone started to say that Chelsea were out of the race for Victor Osimhen. I can guarantee that as of today, Chelsea are still showing an interest in the situation of Victor Osimhen. What does it mean? That when Chelsea are talking to Napoli, even these days, even this week, despite the reports, they are still having active conversations also on the situation of Victor Osimhen. So Chelsea and Napoli negotiate for Lukaku. Napoli want to sign Lukaku, and I think that Napoli will sign Lukaku this summer. So this is the feeling, also because they have an agreement on a 3-year contract. He wants to go there. Conte wants him. Napoli only want Lukaku. So I think this is going to happen. And in these conversations, Chelsea keep inquiring about the situation of Osimhen. There is, let me clarify once again, I told you many times, but I want to be really clear on this with the fans who are listening to me. For Victor Osimhen, guys, it's really important to say that Chelsea are still keen, Chelsea are still interested, but the only chance for Chelsea to make it happen is, as I always told you, and it's not something happening today, tomorrow, so it's something for the final, probably weeks, days of the transfer window. We will see when. But Chelsea will try to understand in the next weeks, in the final weeks, if there is a chance for Victor Osimhen to change his stance or to change his stance also on the formula of the deal. Because, first of all, Victor Osimhen has no intention to reduce his salary. So Victor will not reduce his salary and will not give up on one single euro from 11 million euros net salary he has at Napoli. And then there is the formula of the deal. As I told you many times, Osimhen doesn't want to go on loan. This is the position of the player, and his agent, Calenda, a few weeks ago, also made it clear with an official statement. So he doesn't want to go on loan. Then, if Chelsea can find a creative formula, if Osimhen changes stance, if the conditions of the deal change, Osimhen remains of interest for Chelsea. Then, let's see what happens, because maybe it will not be Osimhen, maybe they could go for another player, but Chelsea are still exploring offensive options. This is the point. This is the news. So even after Pedro Neto, even after the situation of Samu Amorodion, Chelsea are still exploring opportunities in that position. So I will keep you posted. But again, on Osimhen, guys, I know that last week many Chelsea fans were super excited. You saw all the news and all the stories, and so you started maybe thinking that something was happening. And I told you, nothing will happen for Osimhen last week. I can tell you that this weekend, nothing is happening for Victor Osimhen, absolutely. So remains the situation has to be seen in the next weeks, because the player position is still the same. He wants to leave Napoli, but Victor Osimhen will not reduce his salary and is not accepting a loan. So keep an eye also on other clubs, maybe from Saudi, maybe PSG again. PSG had the green light from Osimhen. The only club to agree on personal terms and to have the green light from Victor Osimhen so far was Paris Saint-Germain. PSG had the green light of Victor Osimhen. He would love to go to Paris Saint-Germain, but PSG then decided so far, because it's still early in the market, not to advance in the deal for Victor Osimhen. So at the moment, they are not advancing in talks with Napoli. They were not happy with Napoli request on the release clause, and they were also not so happy with Napoli when they asked Kang-in Lee as part of the deal. So this is why, at the moment, the situation is not progressive. But let's keep all the options open for Osimhen, because the priority remains for him to leave and for Napoli to go for Victor Osimhen as new striker. I see many of you guys asking on other things. We will go on that in a minute. Let me say something also on Arsenal, then we go on Liverpool, all the other stuff. While I see Borussia Dortmund fans, Maxi Bayer accepted the contract proposal from Borussia Dortmund, and now Dortmund are advancing in talks with Hoffenheim for Maxi Bayer. So that possibility is becoming really, really concrete and really, really serious. So I think it's going to happen. On Arsenal, Edin Ketia and Olympique Marseille. As of today, Marseille have no intention to pay 30 million euros for Edin Ketia. So Marseille are still interested in Edin Ketia. Marseille know that the player wants to go to their club. He's very attracted by the project, by the possibility of working with an important coach like Roberto De Zerbi, the project of the president, Longoria, the director, Mehdi Benatia, all together attracted Edin Ketia, but Marseille, as of now, have no intention to pay 30 million euros. So or the price will be reduced, or this deal will still be negotiated, because Arsenal are now open again to make business under the initial price tag of 35 million euros plus sell-on clause. So now, Arsenal are reopening the doors and now working on a deal with Marseille, but Marseille are still not paying 30. So let's see what happens between the two clubs. Moni is asking in the chat, Todibo to West Ham. Yes, guys, this is another crazy story. Todibo, I'm really proud of the Todibo story because it's been one of the craziest probably of this summer. Yesterday night, I got a message off my phone and someone told me Todibo is going to West Ham. Juventus were very close to complete the deal, was almost done, let me say, between Juventus and Nice, because they had an agreement with the player. So Juve were close to reaching an agreement with Nice, but then the deal collapsed because the Juventus were not able to reach an agreement on all details of the deal with Nice. West Ham arrived, Teams Titan, the director, flying to Nice, reaching an agreement with Nice on the price tag, 40 million euros, loan with obligation guaranteed, and also sell-on clause, really important for Nice, and then agreement Todibo Juventus. Todibo is in London. Todibo is in London to become new West Ham player. Then, guys, on Arsenal, let me add something also on Merino, because for Arsenal, it's really important to say that they keep working and advancing on a deal for Mikel Merino. What's going on? Arsenal have an agreement with Mikel Merino on the length of the contract, on the salary. Merino wants to go to Arsenal. Atletico Madrid were interested. Barcelona were interested. All these clubs were showing an interest in Mikel Merino. But a few days ago, already last week, Merino informed all these clubs that his desire is to go to Arsenal, is to work under Mikel Arteta. He believes that this is a fantastic opportunity, a fantastic team, a fantastic coach. Arteta is being super influential, guys, for Arsenal. He's having a lot of power in a positive way. Obviously, he works together with the ownership, with the director, Edu, so they are all together on the same page. But Arteta is really, really influential at Arsenal in a super positive way. I'm saying that. And the players want to work under him. And for example, Mikel Merino is one of them. Merino wants to go to Arsenal. Merino has an agreement with Arsenal. And now Arsenal are working on the deal with Real Sociedad. But for financial fair play, it's really important to have the agreement on the whole structure of the deal. Payment terms, deal structure. Real Sociedad want more than 25 million euros. Merino wants to go. So work in progress on this point for Mikel Merino and Arsenal. Then, I wanted to tell you something, guys, also on the situation of Liverpool, because on Liverpool we have a few things to say. The first one is Martin Zubimendi. So for Martin Zubimendi, Liverpool, I know we had many reports from Spain in the recent hours, especially from Donosti, the city of Martin Zubimendi, the city of Real Sociedad, and obviously they are pushing. But Liverpool are still there. So while I'm here live on playback, Liverpool are still actively working, and the director of Liverpool, Richard Hughes, is still actively working to try make this deal happen. So Liverpool are again and still in active talks for Martin Zubimendi. Liverpool feel that the player is really, really tempted by this possibility. Liverpool know that Zubimendi believes that this is the opportunity of his life. He's really attracted by the club, the badge, the history of Liverpool, but also the project with Arne Slot, with a new board, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, all together building a new Liverpool. So the player is really tempted. Liverpool are really fighting because they know that Real Sociedad offer the player the possibility to extend his contract, and they are crazy for the opportunity to keep him at the club. So Real Sociedad are really trying their best to convince Martin Zubimendi to stay at Real Sociedad. But Liverpool are fighting. I can guarantee to you that I can't tell you anything final now, because this afternoon there are still talks ongoing on all sides involved in this story, including player side, including Liverpool side, and obviously Real Sociedad. But for sure, Liverpool are still there fighting for Zubimendi. They know that Real Sociedad are trying their best to keep the player, but Liverpool are still there. Liverpool are still fighting, and so for sure, the story is still on for Martin, Zubimendi, and Liverpool. We will follow that one because there are things that could happen in the next days, but Liverpool are really actively working on this one and trying to make it happen. So it's going to be a crucial couple of days for Liverpool because they want to accelerate. They want to have a final answer from Zubimendi as soon as possible. And so this is a crucial topic for Liverpool. And then I saw many questions on Liverpool, also on Giorgi Mamardashvili, because Mamardashvili remains one of the names always linked to Liverpool, with many opportunities for this goalkeeper who did fantastic at the Euros, who did fantastic for years also at Valencia. I think this is one of the best goalkeepers around. Liverpool, I can confirm the story. It was Relevo, I think, in Spain, saying that Liverpool have the possibility to sign Giorgi Mamardashvili and send him on loan. So Liverpool have been presented this possibility. Mamardashvili is looking for opportunities in case there will be some opportunity in the final weeks of the market, and Liverpool have the opportunity to go for Mamardashvili, sign him now, and then loan him out. There is Bournemouth as a possibility, but not only Bournemouth. There are several clubs exploring this possibility for Mamardashvili on loan. It would be fantastic. But Liverpool are yet to make a final decision on this one. So Liverpool basically are aware of the opportunity. Liverpool spoke to people in charge of the deal. Liverpool are informed of every detail of the story for Mamardashvili. Now it's on Liverpool. They have to decide internally whether they want to pay something around 30 million euros, sign Mamardashvili, loan him out, and consider him the potential future goalkeeper for Liverpool after Alisson, or if they want to leave this opportunity and continue with the goalkeepers they have. But Liverpool have this opportunity on the table. So it's basically on Liverpool to decide on Giorgi Mamardashvili. What I can say, and I think this is also an important detail, is that Mamardashvili would also be keen on this possibility. So Mamardashvili is also open to saying, okay, I'm going to Liverpool. I'm not going immediately because now the goalkeeper is Alisson, but maybe in the future I will be Liverpool goalkeeper. So ready to go on loan, but still being a Liverpool player. So Mamardashvili is open to that. Now depends on Liverpool. They have to decide what they want to do. That's the point. Netic says, how are you tweeting at the same time as live stream, Fab? I thought you were always by yourself tweeting. Yeah, here is my phone, my friend. I can tweet from my phone. You see? Here is white. You go, type, and tweet. It's not that difficult. It's not complicated. I prepare the tweets and my phone is here. No one is tweeting for me. Don't worry. It will never happen. Then let me see some other question. No, but this is important for Liverpool. So Mamardashvili's story is true, and the opportunity for Liverpool to sign him is true. Then I'm not saying that he's going there because it's Liverpool deciding. It's also about the budget. It's also about how much they want to invest. So Liverpool are assessing this opportunity internally. But let's say that they've been offered this possibility to go for Giorgi Mamardashvili, and that could be really, really important point. Then on Zubimendi, guys, but when Zubimendi will decide, probably he doesn't even know. So as soon as Zubimendi decides, we will let you know. Don't worry. We will be here and we will let you know. I see questions on Bastoni. Nothing is happening on Bastoni. On Laporte, we can say that Aymeric Laporte would be more than happy to return to Spain. I can confirm this. Laporte is really, really keen to returning to Europe, to finding an opportunity probably in La Liga would be his priority. I saw some rumors on Real Madrid, but at the moment I'm not aware of concrete talks between Real Madrid and Aymeric Laporte. So at the moment the story is not really concrete. Is not really serious between Real Madrid and Laporte. But I can confirm that Laporte is keen on returning to Europe. Laporte is keen on returning to Spain, and Laporte would be open to last-minute move to Europe. So let's see what happens also on that one. But Laporte could be an interesting opportunity. Guys, I see many questions on Nico. As soon as I will have an update on Nico, guys, I will let you know. That's the point. But at the moment, not yet. At the moment, still no update. For sure, Barca is still calling the agent of Nico on almost daily basis. I can guarantee that to you. So Barca are not giving up. But I can also guarantee to you that athletic sources are very relaxed. So in Bilbao, they are 100% convinced that Nico is staying, that there is no case, and that Nico will be part of the squad. But Barca keep calling his agent, keep telling them that if the situation changes, Barca is still there. So we have to follow that situation and also understand how is the financial fair play point for this one, because Barca invested important money on Dani Olmo, and that's also something that we have to remind. Official, Dani Olmo to Barca, one of the stories of the week. Then Carlos Forbes to Wolves and Bergwijn to Leicester. Bergwijn to Leicester has been discussed in the recent days, so Leicester are exploring this possibility. Carlos Forbes to Wolves is an exclusive story from earlier, because I will tell you guys, here on Playback, I tell you the truth, but I knew about this Pedro Neto story, and I knew that Wolves were going for Carlos Forbes. I was waiting to be on point on Pedro Neto also, because there were some things to clarify also on player side. So again, congratulations to Fabrizio Romano from RMC Sports for breaking the story. But Wolves, exclusive update, want to go for Carlos Forbes. Wolves think that Carlos Forbes has a big potential, former Manchester City player, considered a huge talent. Let's see what happens with Ajax, because it's never easy. But for sure, this is the crucial point for Wolves. They want to go for Carlos Forbes to replace Pedro Neto. Let's see if they will be ready to agree on a deal. Do Arsenal have financial fair play issues? So no forward signing. But my friend, I don't think it's about financial fair play issues. Also because Arsenal, in terms of financial fair play, always did an important job. All the clubs are keeping close eye to the situation of financial fair play. And so, Arsenal want to be almost perfect with the balance they have and with the financial fair play situation. Arsenal don't want to be in trouble, so they sign Calafiori, they sell Smith Rowe, they might sell one more defensive player, for example, Kivior. Let's see what happens there. So I think Arsenal will try to have a balance. Also, Reece Nelson could be on his way out. There was interest from Leicester, but no agreement with Arsenal, and also no agreement with the player on the fee. Let's see what happens with that in Nketiah. They are going for Merino, who is not super expensive. He's out of contract in 1 year. So I think Arsenal want to be as perfect as possible in terms of having the right balance for the squad. That's the idea. That's the plan. Then, let me see. City replacement. I like this question. I'm told that Manchester City are assessing several options, not only number 9s, because number 9 obviously could be the most natural position to replace a player like Julian Alvarez, who is a striker. But Man City are also discussing internally about the possibility to bring in a winger and not a center striker, and to use a false 9 when Erling Haaland is not available or when Pep wants to rotate. So they are also thinking and saying internally, maybe we bring in a right winger or a left winger instead of a center striker, and we can give Pep the possibility to invent something for the center striker when Haaland is not available or when he has to rest. That's the point. Then, I see the question on Calvin Phillips and Cop Miners. Calvin Phillips, there is interest from Everton, not only Everton, but for Calvin Phillips, there could be movement, I think, in the next weeks, because he's still expected to leave Manchester City. Also, Joao Cancelo is still expected to leave Manchester City, with Barcelona still interested in the situation of Joao Cancelo. For Cop Miners, Juventus presented this bid, 50 million euros plus 5 in add-ons. This is the bid from Juventus for Teon Cop Miners. Atalanta are still not accepting as of now, but the two clubs are in constant contact, on daily contact. Cop Miners, obviously, as we said many times, wants to go to Juventus, so we will follow that one. On Ugarte and Manchester United, here we have a crucial point, guys, because Manchester United, after Zirze, after Leny Yoro, to complete more signings, need also some outgoing, some consistent outgoing. I mean, not only young kids, but also some player from the first team and some player who could be considered an important player. For example, we know that for Mazraoui, they are waiting for Wan-Bissaka. We know that for Matthijs de Ligt, they need some more space in terms of outgoings. So Man United are working on the outgoings, but also in the midfield. Ugarte has an agreement with Man United. It's almost 3 weeks. Ugarte wants to go to Manchester United. United and the agent have an agreement. Now, United, to close the deal with PSG, need to sell some player, because at the moment, they have still no agreement with PSG on the, how I can say, package for this deal for Manu Ugarte in terms of financials. So in order to sell players, in order to sign players, selling players is absolutely crucial for Manchester United. So obviously, in case they can't get Ugarte, there could be some other option. They spoke to the agent of Sander Berge. They spoke to the agents of, for example, Sofian Amrabat, who remains an option. So Man United are exploring some alternative options, but they're still waiting for Ugarte. Ugarte remains a priority target for United. Only in case Ugarte will be too expensive and Man United will not complete any important sale, in that case, they can consider other midfielders like the names I mentioned. But Man United will be busy. Don't worry, that Man United will be really busy in the next days, the next weeks for the final part of the summer transfer window. Alphonso Davies is staying at Bayern this season. Look, at the moment there is still no concrete update. How much is left for Julian Alvarez to Bournemouth to become a here we go? I think next week, my friend. I think next week Julian Alvarez can become Julian Araujo can become a new Bournemouth player. It's a concrete possibility. The negotiation is advanced between the two clubs and now working also on player side, on the player's contract, but that's a concrete possibility. For Julian Araujo to leave Barcelona and go to Bournemouth for 10 million euros. There is a meeting already scheduled at the beginning of next week for this Julian Araujo deal for Barcelona and Bournemouth. I was saying on Alphonso Davies that there is still no consistent update for this summer, but remember guys, if Alphonso Davies stays at Bayern and doesn't extend his contract in the next weeks or months, Real Madrid will still be there, interested for next summer on a free transfer. So that's the thing I wanted to repeat to you once again. I see some questions on again on Solanke, but guys, as I told you, on Solanke, Tottenham are working on that. Tottenham are in advanced negotiations. Guys, I can't say more because I gave you the exclusive news on Solanke last week. Then I told you this week that Tottenham were advancing on Solanke. Many people started to deny my information. Now I see they are all reporting that Tottenham are close to Solanke. So let Tottenham work, let Tottenham do their job, and as soon as something will be final, as soon as something will be almost done, I will keep you posted. Negotiations ongoing, everything progressing for Dominic Solanke. So this is the point. Then, thank you for saying that I am a goat for Tottenham. Thank you. But we try to do our best on every team. I hope you understand that that's my mission, at least, to do my best on every team. But this will be massive. This would be really massive. Dominic Solanke would be an important signing for Spurs. Let's see with the final question. Let's see. Then I go. Jonathan Rowe for Olympique Marseille is a possibility. It's true. It's one of the names they are discussing internally. Then Al Ahly, they tried for Richarlison. They approached Richarlison in this agent, but as he said, he's not leaving. So that's the idea. He wants to continue at Tottenham. Any Sergio Roberto news? Not yet. He spoke to Italian clubs. He spoke to Ajax, but still no final decision. Questions on Zaha from Crystal Palace fans. It's a possibility for Zaha to return. It's a possibility that they are considering at Crystal Palace. They had some contact. It's still not something done, but they had some contact for that one. Kingsley Coman could leave Bayern on initial loan with the buy clause. So this is one of the confirmations we had today. So let's see what happens with Coman. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for the final days of the window. Moukoko Olympique Marseille, the negotiation continue, and as I already told you, Moukoko is a separate story from Edin Ketia, from Elewahi, and all the others. Moukoko is one story, and then Ketia is another story. So there are like two different opportunities, but Marseille are working on both. Remember that from Ketia, they still don't have an agreement with Arsenal. So we will follow that one and let you know. Then Santiago Gimenez news. I think there could be news for Santiago Gimenez in the next days. I expect movement around Santiago Gimenez, and I think can be Premier League for Santiago Gimenez. There is movement. I can't say more now, but there is movement around Santiago Gimenez. Marguerite, Newcastle had a bid rejected from Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace want £65 million for Marguerite. At the moment, the proposal from Newcastle is still not there. But the negotiation continues, and Newcastle remain confident to agree on a deal for Marguerite. And also important to say that Crystal Palace are considering Maxence Lacroix from Wolfsburg as new centre-back because he's a player that Oliver Glasner, the manager, knows very well, and so could be the replacement in case Gay goes to Newcastle. David Neres news. Napoli are working hard on David Neres deal. Agreement done with the player. Negotiations ongoing with Benfica. Guys, I think I replied to all the questions possible. It's been a nice live with many things to say. Many questions on Oscar Bob. I don't think Oscar Bob has any chance to leave Manchester City. Man City are super happy with him, the board, the manager, all together. So I don't think there is going to be any opportunity for this one. Guys, I try to reply to all your questions. I see questions on West Ham. Todibo, here we go. Big story. Guys, I will let you know all the rest. Broja is leaving, Broja is leaving Chelsea on permanent transfer. They are looking for a solution. I see your questions, but I think Broja and David Dator Fofana could leave or permanent transfer or loan with obligation. This is the case. Always here to provide you all the latest. See you soon, and here we go, Pedro Neto.